Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Matt Stone with Stone Cold Racing, and it is race week. I'm just a few sleeps away from the start of the Wilson Creek Frozen 50K, and I am super excited. Thanks for following along so far in my journey. I hope you've gotten some tips that will help you be prepared and confident show up to your start line. So, for today's training tip, we're going to go over race gear. But before I begin, I want to put a huge disclaimer out there when it comes to race gear because there are so many variables that come into play. Um, what kind of race distance are you competing in? Are you doing a 5K, a 10K, a marathon, 50K, or beyond? Are you running on the trails? Are you running on the roads? Are you running in the wintertime? Are you running in the summertime? Are you 5'10", 165? Or are you 6'2", 225? Are you petite? Do you have wide feet? All of these things come into play when it comes to deciding what race gear is right for you. Okay, so just know that these are some recommendations. These are things that I will be using for my race, things that I have used for years that I know work for me, and I hope they just stimulate maybe a little bit of thought as you prepare for your next race. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I'm here to help. Okay, one more thing before I talk about race gear is another disclaimer. No matter what you buy, yes, there are some things that help, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the one thing that's going to be the biggest determinant in you showing up to the start line confident and prepared is training consistency. Have you done the work? Oh, you can have the fanciest gear, you can look the best, but if you haven't done the work, again, the gear's not going to help. All right. So just know that is the main thing when it comes to your training and showing up to the race confident and prepared. Okay. Be consistent in training. All right. Without further ado, let's begin. So it's race morning and we're getting ready. Well, what's the first thing we're going to put on when we get ready for race day? Is our underwear, of course, right? So investing in a good pair of underwear really makes a difference. So for men, you want something that's going to be snug. You don't want things bouncing around. Okay, you want a nice pair of underwear that's going to hold the package in place. Men and women, you want something that's going to be breathable, that's going to wick moisture. You don't want your underwear sagging you down because it's full of sweat. Okay, I have found these Adidas. These are the chonies, my race day chonies. I found these at like Ross or Marshall's a long time ago. I only race in them, or if I've got a big training session, that's the only time I wear them. Okay, but they hold the package in place. They're super lightweight and they don't retain moisture. Ladies, you're going to want a good sports bra as well. Men and women, you don't want things bouncing around. Okay, so we put on our underwear. Now for this race, it's going to be cold, but I also sweat a lot. So I'm kind of still up in the air whether I'm going to wear my compression pants or my compression shorts. But most likely, I'm probably going to lean to my compression shorts, which are from Mud Gear. These are nice, lightweight. They will knock off some cold, but ultimately they're super lightweight. They're not going to retain moisture. I like them because they've got a nice pocket in the back here where you can put some gels or some toiletries or whatever if you got to make a pit stop. But these are what I'll be racing in. Again, I overheat, so I would rather err on the side of being cooler than being too warm. So, and I'll wear these year round. I'll wear these in the cold. I'll wear these in the heat, trail runs, or Spartan races. So get a good pair of shorts, and you won't regret it. So now we've got our chonies, we've got our shorts. Let's get to the tops, okay? So this top is one that I've had for a long time. Again, I got it like Ross or Marshall's. It's just a Nike Hyper Cool shirt. It fits me really well. It's super lightweight. It's super breathable. It's got this kind of pattern in the back where it's like you can kind of see through it, so it's going to dissipate some heat. I'll run in this, any time of year. But again, I don't want to overheat. I don't want to stay too warm out there. This is going to knock off some wind. It's going to keep me dry. And I know it works. So I've tried it. It works. So get a good top. Okay, that's going to be breathable. For this particular race, again, it's going to be cold. So I'm going to put on a windbreaker. And this windbreaker I've had for a few years. I love the color. This purple just pops. It looks good. Another Marshall or Ross find. The thing I like about it, it's got this, other than the color, of course, is it's got this little hoodie here if I didn't throw a hood on. It also has these vents back here to allow just my heat to dissipate. It has this nice neoprene like sleeves, which I really like because sometimes the sweat will come down my arms. And so this will allow the sweat to just bead off or not pull up on my body. I also can just pull this up if I get too warm. I can roll the sleeves up a little bit. And then it's got a little front pocket here if you want to put your hands in there. Again, it's not going to keep me super warm. It's going to keep me warm enough. It's going to allow me to stay dry. And I've raced in this in the cold and it works. So for me, this is something that is trusted gear. It just looks good too. The purple is fire. I've got my underwear, I've got my shorts, I've got my top, I've got my windbreaker. Now, well, we're running, so we got to put on some socks and some shoes, okay? Now, this is one area where I'm going to say you may not want to skimp, okay? If you're running, you're using your feet primarily. You want to get a good pair of socks and a good pair of shoes. You still don't have to break the bank, but, okay, this is where I would maybe not be so cheap. Now, the socks I've been running in for years are these Mudgear socks. These ones in particular are like the merino wool. They're ankle high, super durable. They last. They're comfortable. I wear these during races, during training. I wear these every day. These are my favorite socks. So invest in a good pair of socks, especially for like something like a 50K. Your feet are going to take abuse. You want something that's going to stand up to the abuse as well. So Mudgear, fantastic sock. That's what I'll be rocking. Those are great. I recommend those no matter what you're racing in. As far as shoes now, this is another thing where I would say, it makes sense to spend a little money. But shoes, though, there's a ton of variables. People ask for shoe recommendations, and it's like, man, that is like, you got to try them on. You got to use them. You got to figure out what works for you. I recommend if you're interested in buying running shoes, don't buy them online. Go to a running shoe store, try them on, jog around the store a little bit, see what they feel like on your feet. And then once you find the shoe, then you can order them online because you know what works. These are Hoka Speedgoat 6. I love the color as well. I love looking good when I show up to the start line. I think that helps you be confident prepared as well. I love the black and gray. I love the Raider look. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I love the black and gray or black and silver. It just looks so good. So these are the Hoka Speedgoat 6, super lightweight, breathable, have just enough cushion. They're not super high in the stack height, but for a longer distance, I want something that's going to give my feet a little bit more impact resistance. So I really like them for those. The tread, the grip, the tread is the tread. Like if it's muddy out there, I don't care. You can say you got the best grip on the planet, but if it's muddy, it doesn't matter what you're rocking on the bottom. So, but invest in a good pair of socks and a good pair of shoes. You will thank me for this. So Hoka Speedgoat 6, looking good. That's what I'll be rocking. So now we got, our outerwear. We got our shoes, our socks, our underwear, our shorts, our top. Now we got to put on some accessories. And so what I'll be using for this distance, this is my Salomon, it's like their Agile 2 vest. I've had this for a long time. I don't even think they sell this anymore. It's probably time for a new one. But this is another thing too where it's trial and error, right? There's some buckles in the front here. They're kind of snap, get the holders in place. But you want something especially for a longer distance, you want something where if you're in the middle of nowhere, you got hydration. You don't want to be stuck out. I got stuck out in the Eastern Oregon desert during a race this past summer, and I freaking almost died. But that was my fault. But I like this because it's got these two bladders. They go in the front here. They hold about 16 ounces of fluid. And whenever I need a little sip, I just reach down, suck a little sip off the nipple there, and I'm good to go. I also like them because they hold my gels. There's a pocket here right in front of the bladders where I can put my gels. So makes sense if you're doing some long distance runs to invest in a good vest, whether it's the one with the bladders up front or a backpack kind of type with the bladder in the back. But this was what I'll be rocking this race. is my Salomon hydration vest. Another thing that I really like, which I may bring along just as like a backup, is my Nathan little speed bottle here. This is great for shorter distances. I'll use this for like a 10K or a half marathon, or just a training run longer than an hour where I want some fluids. It's super comfortable, put on there. I mean, it just like, it's great, fits the hand really well. And it's got a nice little pocket there where you can put some gels or your car keys or whatever. But I may bring this along this Saturday. I'm not sure. But it is something that I definitely recommend as well. Okay, so now we got our hydration. Okay, now I gotta store some. I like to pack, and I like to make sure that I'm prepared. I'd rather have too much out there than not enough. And so one thing that I rock all the time is this spy belt or speed belt. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. This is their two-pocket version. They're made here in America. Super durable, last long. They fit a ton of stuff in these little these pouches here. I mean, you could fit so much in here. You'd be shocked at what you can put in these two pockets here. So this is the two-pocket version. For longer distances, I will wear the two-pocket version. I like it too because when I load it up, it doesn't bounce around on my waist. So I've got a good belt here. Definitely recommend that, no matter what distance. And you could do the single pocket version like this one. This was my original one. This is like my Stars and Stripes. You know, God bless America. Again, made in America. Super durable. I've had this for years. And like, you know, so you want something where you can pack some fuel along the way. I'll be using the two pocket one again for a longer distance. Shorter distance, I would rock Stars and Stripes. Okay, now it's going to be cold out there, and to get into these pockets or try to access this gel when your hands are frozen, it doesn't work. You have no manual dexterity. Your fingers are frozen, and I'm telling you, you need some good gloves to keep your hands warm, especially in a cold winter race. And so what I've rocked for the past couple of years, these are called Bleg mitts. These were initially for like Spartan races, but these aren't available on Amazon. These are like straight out of Australia. So if you got a race tomorrow or Saturday, they're not going to come in time. But what I really like about these is they're like neoprene, okay? So they're breathable, but it's like a glove mitten, a glommet. So it's going to cover my whole hand, right? So it's going to keep my hand warm, but when I need to access my gels or get into my belt, then I just fold this back and now I can use my hands, okay? And then I can put it back, right? And now my hands are going to stay warm, all right? If I start getting too hot, I'll flip it back, cool off a little bit. But again, when I'm getting ready to get that gel or use my belt, I'm going to make sure that my hands are nice and toasty. And these are fantastic. I love these. Again, you're not going to run these in the summertime. These are wintertime running race gloves, but they keep your fingertips warm. They work, super durable, and I've used them, so I'm confident that they will help me perform in this race. So I think that's it. We've gone over chonies, we've gone over shorts, we've gone over tops, we've gone over some accessories, we've gone over socks and shoes, we've gone over some belts, and we've gone over some gloves. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear anything on my head. I sweat a lot, and if I do, I may put like a light beanie on. I've got this light, like kind of just really lightweight Nike beanie I've had for a long time. I'll definitely bring it with me, but I'm just not sure what's going to be like on the top of the head. But either way, I hope this has helped you get an insight onto the gear and what it would take. This is a 50K, right? So I'm going to have a little bit more than I would have if I'm running a 5K, okay? It's going to be cold, so I'm going to be wearing a little bit more than I'd be wearing in a summertime race. These are things that I have purchased over the years. Sometimes I've spent a little bit of money, good socks, good shoes, but a lot of my other gear I've purchased at Ross or Marshall's, and they work totally fine. So don't think you got to break the budget. You can be a budget racer. I am, and I'm proud of it. And again, at the end of the day, these are just accessories. What's really going to help you show up to the start line confident and prepared is that consistency in training. but it doesn't hurt to show up the start line looking good. All right, that's it. This is a long video. And again, it's not a one size fits all. It's a trial and error. You got to figure out what works for you. But I hope this has helped you just get an insight onto some of the gear and the accessories that you may want to consider adding to your race gear portfolio as you go out there and start your race season. All right, that's it. Hey, again, just a couple sleeps away from the start of the Wilson Creek Frozen 50K. Super excited. Thank you to all of you for following along, and I will be back tomorrow with my next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.